Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this quick video I want to show you a nice use case for object from entries. Now I've got this HTML form here. It has a couple of inputs, a text area and a submit button, and there is this script here, form.js. Now I already selected the form with document.forms. And next up I'm going to add an event listener for the submit event, which takes the event object as a parameter, and we're going to prevent the default for this event. Now inside this event listener there is a way to get back from the data from the form with a form data object. You can call new form data, and this form data constructor takes the form as an argument. Now, what this form data gives you back is a form data object from which you can get, for example, the entries with data.entries, and this will return an iterable. Let's see a moment what is this entries. Now let's try this form in a browser. Here I can say Katie, there's a description. Let me enlarge this page, by the way. Description, visit to my parents. Task, I'm going to visit my parents. Now if I open up the browser console and I click submit on this form, I get this form data iterator, which is of course an iterator. Let me see why it didn't get the entries. Oh yes, let me try this. If I store this as a global variable now, I can spread this iterator inside an array. And as you can see, I will get an iterable, and this is an array of arrays, where every array has the name attribute of the form with the corresponding value. So if I, for example, I have this form here with the input name, another input description, the text area with the task description, with the task attribute, I can see that the resulting array will be an array of arrays, and these are the entries for this form. Now, there's this method, Object.fromEntries, which is part of ECMAScript 2019 and takes exactly an iterable. In this case, for example, I can pass entries. Now let's see const obj. Let's see what it is, this object. Console log obj. We can remove this line. Let's open up again the form in the browser. Submit. Here we go. Now we got back an object nicely built with description, name, task. So this is a combination from the entries method from the form data object and object from entries, which is part of ECMAScript 2019. Now with this object we can make, for example, a post request to an API. I've got this JSON placeholder, fake API that will return an ID when given a post request, and with fetch, for example, endpoint. And here we can provide the method, which will be post in this case, and the body, which will be this object that we got here, but this time stringified. So JSON stringified obj, and then we can chain up then here function. Now in fetch, the first chain will return the response. So from the response, we can get back the JSON. Here it is good practice to check for any error from the response, but we'll just get the response back here because I'm sure the API won't error out. And here I can return response.json that we return another promise, and here we'll get back the actual JSON. Now you might wonder why I'm not using an arrow function here. Let's use an arrow function then. Here we go. And here also I can just get JSON as a parameter, and the arrow function here. This will yield a JSON object. Now there is no need to print this response in the console because we can see the response directly from the debugger. Anyway, so we've got this submit event, we prevent the default, we build a new object with this form data, we get the entries from its object, and then with Object.fromEntries we just built this object. Let's see, let me refresh the page. Now I'm going to open up the network panel here. Here we go. Let me send the form, and as you can see I've got a post request here to this JSON placeholder API. The response from this API is an ID from the fictional object that has been created on the backend, and you can also see the request body is an actual object here with name, description, and task. So I think this is a neat way to build objects for post requests starting from an HTML form. Now, in a previous video I showed to you the form data event. The form data event is available on any form that has been submitted. So for example, we can listen here from this event, and this event will contain a form data object, which is exactly the same object that we got back here. What can we do now is move this logic in this function, and the time that you create this new form data object with the constructor, this form data event is dispatched in the DOM, and you can decouple the logic for building up the request inside another event listener. Now this is Firefox, and I don't think the form data works, but let's try anyway. No, it works. So it appears that latest version of Firefox has implemented this form data too, and in fact if I go here in can I use, let's see if form data event API, okay, it is available in the last version of Chrome and Firefox too. Now how about the browser support for Object.fromEntries? It is a new method from ECMAScript 2019. As you can see, it is not supported in older browsers, but with newer version of Firefox, Chrome, and Safari, it should work. That's all for this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and see you later.